9 points, 3.5 rebounds, and 1.5 assists per game. Those are the seemingly ordinary numbers that Peyton Watson is averaging this year. Yet at just 22 years old, Watson is one of the most important pieces on a team looking to win a championship. And there's one reason for that. His defense is anything but ordinary.
5 seconds to go. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on the run. The shot was blocked by Peyton Watson, and the Nuggets have won it.
And it's this kind of defense that leads to winning basketball games. It's this kind of defense that can make you a plus 30 in a 10-point game, despite only scoring 10 points yourself, like he was in the recent match against the Dallas Mavericks. Watch him on this play, where Dinwiddie gets the screen from Gafford, and Watson is hedging between Washington and Marshall. Once that pass is fired to Marshall, look at the quickness at which he turns his head and sprints to the corner to block that shot. The slow motion replay does not do that justice. Watching it at full speed, you see just how special that defensive play was from P-Watt in such a crucial part of the game. And when we talk about the best young perimeter defenders in the league, immediately you might think of Dyson Daniels, Cason Wallace, the Thompson twins. Those are all great names, but Peyton Watson deserves to be in that mix, and he deserves to be considered one of the best perimeter defenders in the league, regardless of age, because it's plays like that against Najee Marshall, which is the reason Watson has routinely found himself playing upwards of 30 minutes a night. It's because he gives the Nuggets something that not many players in the NBA can give any team, which is a combination of elite shot blocking, lateral movement, the ability to navigate screens, and a guy who can guard multiple different positions. Just look at him here one-on-one against James Harden, and watch even as Harden gets that separation using his upper body strength, Watson has so much length that he can recover and block the shot. Or on this play, this time against Ben Simmons, and watch Simmons pull off a really great behind the back move to seemingly get enough separation for the layup, but again, it's Watson's ability to come from behind using that length to block the shot. And this is what makes him truly special on defense. He has the ability to make those highlight-worthy defensive plays, coming from the weak side and blocking 7-footers, trailing guards in pick and rolls, and swatting their shots, but it's more than that. He also has the ability, and more importantly, the willingness to consistently stay in the play and contest shots. Sometimes that will result in blocks, like that play against Ben Simmons, but other times it'll force the player he's guarding into taking a shot they aren't comfortable with. And most of the time, this is the best you can do as a defender. Make life difficult for the player you are guarding. And that's what Watson has been doing all year long. But before we talk about that, let's thank the sponsor of today's video, MyBookie. The NBA season is fully underway, and we're continuing to see greatness from all kinds of players, from Wemby doing Wemby things to the Cavs and Thunder winning at a historic rate. And what better way to enjoy all of the historic action than with MyBookie, who take live odds on literally every single action, like Wemby recording 7 blocks in a game, or Karl Anthony Towns grabbing 15 rebounds. And you don't need to wait. I'll make it easy for you. Jump in right now and double your deposit with code 6MAN. That's more bankroll to back up your picks, whether it's NBA or college hoops. And you can use MyBookie Bet Builder to get creative with player props and single game parlays, so you can strike the right combo to maximize your payout. Take advantage of daily bet boosts and a risk-free offer every Thursday. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. And if you know anything about the Denver Nuggets, they have never struggled offensively. I mean, when you have Nikola Jokic, that's never going to be a problem. And in addition to that, the resurgence of Russell Westbrook, the shooting of Michael Porter Jr., and well, Jamal Murray has some okay games as well, but the Nuggets have 2 question marks entering these playoffs: their bench and their defense. Right now, they are hoping that Peyton Watson can be a big answer to both of those questions, and I'm not sure if I've even done his his defense justice yet, because he really is special on that end of the floor. You know someone's special when they can do this to Victor Wembanyama. Watch as Wemby drives. Watson does a great job at mirroring that angle, and as he's on the way up, it's just a perfect block. That is what happens when technique meets athleticism and length, and that play had very little to do with P. Watt's athleticism and everything to do with his skill and focus on defense, which again goes back to what I was saying about the combination of those physical traits he has and the mental fortitude as well, which is the difference between having highlight-worthy plays as a defender, which a lot of players are capable of doing, and being a truly elite defender, which I think P. Watt is well on his way to becoming. And I don't know if you can even put a ceiling on what he could be defensively. I mean, just to emphasize that lack of ceiling, look here where he's guarding Jaylen Brown. Cater sets a great screen, and it looks like a wide open jumper for Brown, but Watson comes out of nowhere to swat his shot. He has no right to make that play, but he does it time and time and time again. And it'd be easy to think that Watson is solely a defensive specialist. That is why he's a game changer for the Nuggets, because of his defense, but he's not a liability on offense at all. He's even showcased an ability to hit the occasional pull-up jumper or put the ball on the floor if the possession breaks down. But most importantly, he uses those same physical traits he has on defense to make plays on offense as a cutter, as a lob threat, and in transition. But he also has some craft to go along with this. Take this play for instance, where Jokic kicks it out to him in the corner. He takes Jones off the dribble, but it's then his ability to use his offhand to reverse it in. And like always, when it comes to being a Denver player, how well you can play alongside Nikola Jokic will either make or break you. Players have made millions upon millions of dollars because they understand when and where to be when Nikola Jokic has the ball. Peyton Watson is one of those guys, and it's not just Jokic helping him out, but Watson's ability to chase over screens, to block shots at the rim, to catch lobs, and cut to the rim with his athleticism also helps Jokic as well. And this is a common theme you see with most players on the Nuggets roster, is if you can bring that energy and athleticism on offense and defense, you will be maximized alongside Nikola Jokic. You've seen it with Russ, Gordon, Brown, and you are seeing it with Watson. And I mention Nikola Jokic so often because I don't think we will ever see a player elevate other players in the same way that Jokic does. It hasn't happened before, and it probably won't happen again. But in addition to that, what also gives me hope in P. Watt's offensive game is you can see him starting to figure out how to make plays for others as well. It's not like he was ever a selfish offensive player, but he just wasn't exactly someone that you would feel comfortable passing the ball. You were starting to see some improvements in that regard. Like here where he sees Strawther in trouble and Jokic being fronted, so he flashes to the middle of the floor and immediately throws the pass over the top to Jokic for the easy two. Or how about here where he gets the ball at the three-point line and he spots Jokic making a cut to the rim, so he drops the pass on the money to him for the and one. He's not turned into Magic Johnson, but especially on a team like Denver, you have to understand when and how to get guys like Jokic, MPJ, and Jamal the ball when they are cutting or flaring out to the three-point line. And P. Watt is starting to develop those instincts, and he's starting to develop them at a rate which makes you wonder how much longer he'll be coming off the bench for Denver. And for a team that really struggled in non-Jokic minutes to start the season, all of a sudden, with the resurgence of Russ, the emergence of Strawther and Watson, this is not the same Denver Nuggets we saw to start the season. And a big reason for that is because of Peyton Watson. Now, if you made it all the way to the end of the video and want to see more content like this, consider subscribing, dropping a like on the video would be cool. Most importantly, have a great day.